Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 4 selections for tomorrow's horse racing action. Before we get into that, I just want to say it wasn't a bad weekend for us, as we had an 11-1 winner yesterday at Ascot with Mountain Peak. A good result there. He only just won in a photo finish. He won by a nose, but he still was a good winner and he returned a final SP of 11-1. Away from that, the other tips were slightly disappointing. Cockalorum was just ran out of the extra places close home. Away from that, we had Alma Gambler. He was disappointing. Lion of War, he again was disappointing. And Catamosto didn't really do too well at Newmarket yesterday. But overall, for the whole weekend, we were up in profit. And fingers crossed we can build on it this week. And like I said at the top of the video, I've got 4 selections for tomorrow's horse racing action. And we're going to be going to Ayr for the first tip. We go to the 405 with a horse called Final Account, currently available at 11-4. I'm going to recommend a 1-point win bet as my nap of the day here for O'Sheenor and Richard Fahey in the colours of Midland Racing. Now, this horse, last time we saw him, arguably hinted a little bit of a revival when he finished third at Ayr. That was over 6 furlongs, and he was only just beaten in the closing stages. And I think actually that was a better race than what he's going to be running in tomorrow. It's a weaker contest tomorrow, and I'd be disappointed if he couldn't get very competitive. He's got some good form going back to his novice career. He was behind the likes of Alma Gambler, Mitabahi as well. I think he finished 5th too in a race at Ayr. So he's met a few useful types along the way. And 59, I think, is definitely within range for him. And I think the drop back to 5 furlongs will suit him as well. He showed a lot of pace last time out. And like I say, he only just faded close home over the 6 furlongs. So it's definitely worth a go. I think the ground should be fine. The draw's fine. The race should set up okay for him. I think he's got a good chance tomorrow. The yard are going okay. Yeah, he's going to be my nap of the day, and I think this is now or never for Final Account, but I think it will be his day tomorrow, and like I say, that's why he's going to be my nap. So that's the first tip underway. We then go to the 425 at Ffos Las with a horse called Tessy's Lad for Richard Hughes and David Egan. Currently available at 7-2. I'm going to recommend a 1-point win bet here. Now, this horse is quite a similar horse to Final Account in the fact that he's still a maiden. Been a bit of a head scratcher, really, looking at him. Because if you look at his breeding, he's by Australia and his dam was a 1 mile 2 winner. And he's actually been running over 7 furlongs. And I think he's been crying out for this trip. He didn't run a bad race last time out at Newbury when he finished 6th. That arguably, I think, was in a better race than what he's going to be running in tomorrow. I think they found a good opportunity for him tomorrow. He gets a 3-year-old weight for age allowance. He's running off a mark of 60 here. I think there's plenty in his favour tomorrow. Really, and I think he's going to relish to step up and trip. And I think the horse that he's got to be, it looks like he's got to be on paper, David Ocknane's horse. I don't think he's that well in at the weights at all. I know he won last time out, but if you look at that race, some of the handicap ratings that he was beating there, I just think they were a bit overrated. So yeah, I'm quite keen to take him on, and I think Tessy's Lad could be the way to go in the 425 at Ffos Las. So that's why he's going to be my extra tip of the day. We then go to the 755 for my long shot there, and I'm going to go with the Mark Johnston filly here, Eternal Glory. Now, this horse is currently available at 12-1. Franny Norton's booked for the ride, but I couldn't work out why she was 12-1. I'm going to recommend a 0.5 each way selection as my long shot of the day tomorrow. But this horse is an interesting one because I think tomorrow she could just get an easy lead. She's going to be drawn in stall 4. She's got good form on the all-weather. She's a previous course and distance winner. And last time we saw her, she was only collared late on when she finished 3rd at Chelmsford. I don't think you want to be coming from too far off the pace at Wolverhampton tomorrow. When we get this hot weather, you often find that the all-weather tracks can favour front runners because of their kickback. And it can be quite hard to come from off the pace. So I looked at one of the meetings last week at Wolverhampton, and not too many horses were coming from off the pace. So you want to be handy. She's got a good draw to work from as well tomorrow in stall 4. I think we know she's going to run our race. And she's the kind of horse that we see with Mark Johnson sometimes, where they've been running so many times. We think we know where we are with them, but then suddenly they can just find a few pounds and improve a little bit. And I think she could be one of those fillies for Mark Johnson, you know. So yeah, for me at 12-1 tomorrow, I think she's completely overpriced. I think she should at least be half the price she is. I know she's taken on 3-year-olds. She's back against the boys, but for me, I think she's got a good chance in this race. Not for mark of 70. There could be maybe £1 or £2 to play with, and I think she'll be there or thereabouts come the end of the race. And I'm quite sweet on her chances to definitely outrun her odds. So that's why she's going to be my long shot of the day. We then go to my next best, which runs in the final race at Windsor, the 805. And I think this could be the night for Tiger Beetle, for Richard Kingscote and Sir Michael Stout in the colours of King Power Racing. He has been a very frustrating horse in his career. He's finished 2nd and 3rd on most of his career starts so far. But I think his latest run at Chepstow actually wasn't a bad run. His sectionals weren't bad for the final sections of the race. But he bumped into a horse there of Hugh Palmer's called Commonsensical. He actually went on to win on his next start in a competitive handicap at Carlisle. You had Johnny Portman's horse in there separating them, and he'd been on a real rapid improve. So I think it was a good race for the grade. I just think Chepstow necessarily wasn't his track. I think he's found a good race tomorrow. I don't think it will take too much winning. People obviously will look at Scarlet Dragon as the class act, but he's a bit of a funny horse. He's very keen. He needs a strong pace to aim at. I think this could be very tactical, and I think that could suit Tiger Beetle if Richard Kingscote takes his initiative, takes the bull by the horns, and rides him prominently. You don't want to come from too far off the pace at Windsor. It can be front runner's track, especially when the ground is on the quick side, and I think tomorrow could be his night, and that's why I'm going to put him up as my final tip of the day. So they're the tips then for tomorrow's racing. If you're enjoying these videos, remember to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe here to the YouTube channel at LuckyLoaders15. You can follow me on socials as well, Twitter and Insta, where my handle is at LuckyLoaders15. Please gamble responsibly, and I'll be seeing you again soon.